Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another pro solo queue casting. We're back on the EU West server with an interesting game here in the Grandmaster ranking, I do believe. We're seeing here a classic Lucian Nami. Lucian incredibly out of control, so to speak, since his recent buff. While already being very, very powerful, he's an E cooldown reduction has skyrocketed him to the upper echelons of the ADC tier lists. Meanwhile, in mid lane, we're seeing Ahri into Taliyah as Wukong here, going to be looking for an early engage onto this Taliyah as Pantheon going to make his presence known, poking the Wukong back. Pantheon jungle incredibly usable in terms of the increasingly fast ganks he can pull off, especially when his ultimate is up. Very useful in the mid game, especially to get from opposite sides of the map. Obviously, Pantheon's ultimate, Grand Starfall, essentially he chooses a point on the map that he can land to. No need for a teammate to be there, no need for a specific enemy to be there. He can choose it of his own will. He can also use it as an escape tool. So we'll see how that goes down here. A very short range composition for the red side, so we're expecting to see Taliyah and Sivir get some very, very good value from that range benefit. In the mid lane, we expect to see Taliyah take a lead here, as she has a much better time into Ahri than a lot of other champions. There's some early trading already coming out, as Teemo and Annie seemingly have swapped sides, as Teemo's taken the mantle of the red side turret, as following on the Annie now. The PTA will proc as a big chunk of damage is dealt. Nautilus now looking for the engage, going to be rooting down the Lucian. The ignite will go through as Sivir looks to chase. Lucian going to flash over the wall as Sivir follows. One more auto will do it, but the barrier is there. The Nami heal will save him. And that is not going to be a kill onto the Lucian. Meanwhile, in top lane, Annie having to flash away. The ignite used from Teemo, knocking Annie down to a fraction of HP left. Ooh, the little girl with the teddy bear going to be flashed upon by the Yordle, and Teemo will take first blood as looking to stage a dive here on the bot side. Nautilus going to be the one who takes the turret aggro first. Lucian looking to try and get a constellation kill onto the Sivir, as Lucian going to take down the Sivir, and Lucian not dying in the end, as a little bit too overly confident, the blue side bot duo. Meanwhile, looking at the junglers, we see they've pathed opposite to each other, so they're likely to get one scuttle each before they hit the reset buttons. 2 blue smites means that they're going to have a lot more movement around the map. The blue smite on the Pantheon isn't unusual, to say the least, but red smite does have its benefits, specifically in the fact that Pantheon's ultimate synergizes with the red smite very well, but blue smite just very, very handy for being able to move around the map. You tend to only see blue and green smite when you see these AD junglers. Green smite obviously giving it insane amount of tankiness, as blue smite gives movement speed. We can already see here that Taliyah is able to apply a much more significant amount of pressure onto the Ahri with the ability to have that wavered ground, to have those little rocks poking up under the feet, constantly slowing down the Ahri, as we see here. If that rock hits, it will send Ahri through as many little pebbles as possible, dealing massive amounts of damage on each tick. Now on bot lane, Nami level 4, Lucian still only level 2, only having access to the piercing light and potentially his dash, as right now Wukong invading on the bot side. Pantheon seemingly aware of it as he tries to move down to secure the Raptors. Wukong now posturing here, adamant on taking these chickens, but Pantheon sees it. Pantheon knows as the first sort of major fight will begin. Pantheon here going to be following along with the Empowered E, getting the movement speed, going to be landing the Q, getting a huge chunk of damage, as Congaroo will proc, but not too much else will come from it. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we see a little bit of an ADC combat here. Lucian very far down in CS. That early skirmish did knock him behind quite a significant amount, obviously missing out on a lot of the farm, but at least he's not got a death to his name. Sivir, on the other hand, 15 CS up minimum, as the wave coming in will keep that at an even number. Meanwhile, in top lane, we also see that Teemo has gotten a nice 12 CS lead on the Annie. That early kill really accelerating him in this matchup. We see he's going for the Nash's 2 first with that dagger, assumingly to try and proc PTA as much as possible. And he does not really have too much to stop Teemo from running her down. Unlike a tank, Teemo is going to have a nice field day here as Talia just looking to poke down the Ahri as much as possible, make it as uncomfortable as she can for this mid lane. Nami going to be landing the bubble to stop the Nautilus from going in. Lucian will dodge. Shoot the hook. As now, we go into the Drake spawning. Ahri coming down to the bot lane. Wukong posturing down as well as Nami looking to catch out this Pantheon here in the bush. Going to be seen as here comes the engage from the Pantheon. Pantheon going to be using as many abilities as possible. Nami bubble is going to hit as Lucian is pumping in damage into that Gladiator. Atreus is going to fall very low as the charm will hit. Ahri will get the kill. And now the continuation will come. Nautilus will fall as well. The fleets of warfare will be claimed as Teemo looking on the top side to claim a kill onto the Annie. The Ignite will pop. The Ignite will take it as Sivir now looking to be the next target of the Lucian. Lucian not enough mana to be able to take the kill. Will go under the turret. Will take 2 turret shots and the barrier will save his life. A very, very one-sided fight in bot lane. But Teemo picking up a consolation kill in top as now the autonomy is with this red side. Lucian having to reset relatively soon, most likely after this wave. Nami likewise, as they're not holding such a powerful inventory. They're going to take this reset now. Wukong is now working on the Drake. As Pantheon pass towards the top side, this should be interrupted. This should be a relatively easy Drake to take for the Wukong. As Nautilus allowing that wave to come in slightly, as Annie going to be doing as much damage as she possibly can to the Teemo. Level 4. Is the little girl as the little Yordle is deciding to unearth his annoying side as in the mid lane there's going to be a quick little trade here between Talia and Ahri. Talia looking to continue it with that phase rush, being able to chase down the target. At the moment, 3 different abilities hit. In the meantime, Wukong going to be rendezvousing with Ahri in that mid lane. Pantheon is close by on the top side, taking down the Scuttle at the moment. And now we are into another state of silence, it seems, as Pantheon might be looking to change that as he sees Wukong on the Raptors. Going to be taking the stun, going to be landing the W as looking to just try and be as big of a nuisance as possible. Will take the Raptor camp, but Wukong will get the large Raptor as Talia not able to support the Pantheon there as Nami makes an appearance. Wukong takes the kill and Sivir and Lucian now. Lucian looking to take an engage onto the Sivir. Neither of them level 6. There is no on the hunt. There is no piercing light. There is no culling. Not yet at least, as Sivir, knowing that she gets level 6 soon, will pop it on that caster minion. Nautilus now looking for this hook here. Will Lucian be able to dodge it? Will Nautilus even go for the hook as Lucian hugging the wall, trying to play into Nautilus's hitbox there. As the hook will come out, Nautilus will sadly miss due to the Lucian dashing away as it appears a freeze is an order as Lucian and Nami will hold this wave under the turret in safety as firing off the W's is Lucian as he looks to claim as much CS as possible. The hook will narrowly miss as Pantheon and Wukong taking a trade on the top side. Void grubs. The Cyclone going to be coming out from the Wukong, dealing as much damage as he possibly can. Not too much. He's only got the Sheen and the Longsword as the culling will come through. The culling will connect. The tidal wave will not connect as well, but Lucian will claim the kill onto the Sivir. As the bot side takes another hit. Lucian 2-0-2. Nami 0-5. Someone call him James Bonded as Annie here looking for a fight with the Teemo. The comment will land as the Teemo jumps forward. Will hit the Ignite. Not needed, but Tibbers now looking to try and claim a little bit of revenge for the Annie's death as Teemo will take him down as Teemo 3-0 in this lane against the Annie. Obviously, when you see Teemo, you see him as an individual who places a lot of traps, who blinds his targets, but Annie's not having a very good lane into this, but it might all be for naught as we see Naught here in the mid lane posturing, potentially looking to try and catch out this Ahri, who will get hit by the shifting grounds. Taking a little bit of damage from this Talia. Only with the Lost Chapter, only with the Tear of the Goddess, essentially building into the Archangel Staff to turn into Seraph's Embrace to give her some extra survivability and obviously reduce the mana issues that Talia tends to have in the mid game. Nautilus now looking for a Hex Flash over the wall. Will find it. Will he find the hook? The hook will not land as Ahri uses the W movement speed to get away. Wukong hopping over the wall, seeing if he can catch out the Nautilus with any abilities available. Nami now posturing inside this Drake pit. The dragon will be spawning shortly. As Talia looking to just clear this wave as soon as possible. Reset, move as far as she wants. As Talia's wall is ready to go. Looking to be posturing, looking to send it. As here it looks to be arriving. Nautilus will come through as here comes the wall. Lucian will dash over. Nami will get caught up. The hook lands onto the Lucian as Talia claims the kill on the Light Bane. The Sentinel of Light has fallen, and now Sivir, Nautilus finally have some breathing room in this lane. The CS lead has remained up the whole time as Annie getting caught out by the Teemo Mushroom. Wukong is here to try and back up her Annie. Annie will fall, and Teemo is soon to follow as Wukong using the Cyclone. Annie, the Tibbers, is dealing a decent amount of damage, but with only the Ionian's Lucidity boots. The damage is not there to be able to solo kill this Teemo as Pantheon looking to just be pesky on this top side, looking to just distract the Wukong from resetting here as the Drake is coming up. Delaying that Wukong is absolutely imperative to Pantheon's goals here of claiming it. Pantheon ultimate is available, so Pantheon can essentially be anywhere on the map and immediately rotate down to this Drake. Nautilus now going to be looking to clear some vision on this mid side. And we are into a slightly quiet state of the game. 5-6 is the current scoreline. There is essentially no gold lead. Possibly a couple hundred, not even 100, probably about 20 gold, judging by the tick over. Teemo now commanding the entire presence of the wave. Oh, need to do a vocal like warm up before this, but we see now. The Drake is spawning. The hook will connect onto the Nami. The root will land as the depth charge comes through. Sivir looking to deal as much damage as possible. Talia will claim the kill onto the Nami. As now the cunning will come through. Sivir looking to tank up as little as possible, but will end up dealing lots of damage. The Essence Reaver picked up. Lucian not going to be dealing all too much damage at the moment. The benefits coming from long extended fights with the ability to proc that PTA. The Essence Reaver allowing for longer durations for fights as its passive of generating mana on hit is incredibly handy for a Lucian who wants to just do nothing but spam abilities. As we see here, Talia trading with Ahri in the mid lane. Wukong is here to assist. Pantheon is close by on his Raptors. Lucian clearing a control ward out of the river, ensuring they have enough space and time to be able to claim this Drake willingly. As the blue side not looking to let up, Pantheon is now hovering around this bot side, but Wukong will start up the Drake. It is on a ward. Now, blue side are on the clock here. Wukong, very, very quick when it comes to taking Drakes with the ability to have the clone, being able to have 2 sets of auto attacks. It will be taken before there can be any interruption as now the fight is looming in bot side as Teemo hits the Noxious Trap onto the Annie, blinds the Annie, but Tibbers is here to assist. The Ignite goes down, and Annie will take her first solo kill of the Teemo. Meanwhile, Nautilus going to fall in the bot side. The Cyclone used by the Wukong as Lucian looking to continue this fight, dealing as much damage with the PTA as possible as we have a little bit of a screen flash there as Talia decides to come in. Ahri now going to be landing the charm onto this Talia here. Having to flash over the wall as Pantheon looks to take a posture upwards, stopping the Ahri from dashing over the wall, ready to stun if need be. But smoke and mirrors will only get you so far as it is now 6-8. Another kill on that Lucian as Nami's bubbles proving to be a threat of all shapes and sizes. Nautilus now looking for the hook. Will land it onto the Nami. Will claim it, but no, lets it to Sivir as Lucian now in the 1v2. 2 levels up on the Nautilus. The culling will land. The depth charge will interrupt it. Barrier will come through as Sivir looking to just try and live as long as possible. Lucian will flash out the way, but the lethal tempo dealing enough damage to be able to kill the Lucian. Lucian might be able to trade 1 kill, but that's 2 to Sivir. Her first 2 on the board with that Yuntal's Wild Arrows. We can see Lucian here, possibly building into what believes to be either a Navori or a Phantom Dancer, which has that pesky downside of meaning that you're not going to be able to do too much damage as Pantheon and Teemo decide that Annie's fate is already decided as Pantheon claims the victim on the top side. Meanwhile, Wukong has come to try and avenge the Annie here as looking to ult away. Pantheon will go into the skies. The Grand Starfall is successful and he will land back down and live. Talia, meanwhile, getting hit by the tidal wave, getting hit by the charm as Nami assists Ari in this kill. Now, the chase is on. Call Bradley Walsh as here comes Ari looking to land this charm here. The speed boost from the Nami will be incredibly important as a flash over the wall decides the fate as the W connects onto the Teemo and Teemo will fall. Now, Nautilus looking to just try and relieve some of this pressure in the mid lane as we saw it start off very well. The Annie dive was executed almost perfectly as Wukong comes in to just get whatever value he can and will claim up the Pantheon kill. However, the Grand Starfall saving his life. Teemo will fall. Talia will be soon to follow behind that as Talia now back in mid lane with accompanying Nautilus. The Scuba Diver is the teamfight driver for this blue team as they're relying on the Nautilus hooks here to really engage these fights, to really enable this Talia, this Pantheon to connect their extra CCs. And if they group up, Sivir will do an immense amount of damage with that Yuntal's giving an immense attack speed bonus upon attacking an enemy champion. Looks to be one of Infinity Edge or Collector, the next idea for the Sivir, as Wukong will catch out of the Teemo. The Cyclone will be used as they go under the turret, and the Tibbets will claim it. The damage is incredible now as Wukong claims the kill onto the little rat. And now Sivir claiming a turret in the top side. Bot tier 1 will fall to the Annie and the Wukong duo as well as Talia having to back away from this Lucian. 4-2 is his scoreline as Herald looking to be taken by the Pantheon. Severe in suit. Nautilus going to land the hook onto the Lucian. The dash is available. Going to go over the wall as Talia looks to chase. The culling will dissuade any kind of chase from the Pantheon as Lucian will back out as a second turret is taken in the bot side. The Herald now used in mid. Going to be looking to take this mid tier 1. Opening up the map as we know. Nautilus going to be hit by the Nami hook. Nami bubble as the hook doesn't quite connect. As Ari comes in on the backside. The Spirit Rush going to help Ari access the backline. Not quite able to hit the charm as Wukong's here. The clone is here. The Annie Stum comes through. Nautilus is the first to fall, followed by Talia. As Pantheon looks to be another one, but will get a consolation kill in the Annie. Sivir and Teemo are the only two that are left as it is a 2-3 for 1. Pantheon will fall in the end. As Sivir and Teemo, the last two remaining as this Drake is coming up. Be a brilliant engage from the Wukong, utilizing that clone to waste the CC from the Nautilus early on, providing a pivotal catch onto the Talia. Ari 6-0, Wukong 4-0, and it's slowly starting to fall out of favor for this blue side. 5 kill difference, 2k gold lead as the Ocean Drake is summoned. I believe this will be Feat's claim for both sides actually, as a Herald and 3 Grumps versus 2 Drakes. This will be the deciding objective. As Wukong not looking to mess around here, will just go straight into taking this as Pantheon looking to just posture into this Drake pit. Ari now in the front line, going to be landing the Orbs of Deception, going to be trying to find a way into the backline as the culling comes through. Tibbers will land, the Cyclone lands onto Sivir. Will Sivir be able to survive? No, she won't, as Ari is dashing around with the Spirit Rush. Pantheon here looking to try and claim a kill onto the Lucian as he will fall. Meanwhile, Teemo taking down the Wukong as Ari finishes off the kill onto the Nautilus and the Talia as Lucian claims the 5th of Teemo. An ace for the red team. And this will be the easiest Drake ever unless Scuttlecrab plans on stealing it. This looks like it will be the feats of warfare claimed. Now, those empowered boots won't be doing all too much, but with 3 Ionian's boots members on the red side, they're going to be looking to having a lot more ability haste in these engagements, as well as summoner spell haste as well. What this essentially means is that heal will be up a lot more, and barrier will be up a lot more for the Lucian, so survivability at an all-time high. As we see Infinity Edge picked up for the Severe here, obviously opting to a much later game crit build, whereas Lucian opting to the Navori. The damage he will be doing will not be very great, but the amount of auto attacks he's going to be able to get out is going to be unbelievable. The dynamics for these two teams is basically the red side just has to get a good engage. If they can get a good CC to engage it, they can win the fight. But the downside is they have no real front line. Their best front line is a Wukong, who's building Bruiser, yes, but not who you really want on your front line. You wouldn't ask him to take a bullet because you're not sure if he could survive. Whereas the blue side does have Nautilus, who is very much capable of taking a bullet. Wukong now looking to dive onto the top side. The Cyclone will land. The Charm will land as well. Spirit Rush going to be used. Orb Destruction will deal massive amounts of damage as Wukong claims the kill on that team on the top side as the top tier 1 will fall. And now this gold lead is accelerating. This gold lead is getting out of hand. It's 5k. It's 10 kills. And this is all she wrote. Atakan now going to be started up by the blue side, taking advantage of the Wukong being in top. Take this down, claim an objective bounty, get some more gold infused onto the carries of this blue side. The Sivir going to be very delighted with this. The extra adaptive force, the extra XP, and of course the objective bounty as well. 1,000 gold split between the team. As Sivir going to be looking to build into her next item, claiming this wave in bot lane just before she leaves. One thing is for certain, the blue team does not have any kind of trouble with wave clear, as Sivir, Taliyah and Teemo all have incredible ways of clearing these waves. We're now into the down period between objectives. Just take a little glimpse into what's going on as Lucian posturing towards the Infinity Edge. Sivir looking to pick up an attack speed item with that seal, most likely the Navori, mirroring what Lucian has picked up for his second item. And Ari going to be using the Spirit Rush over the wall, going to be landing onto the Taliyah, as Taliyah is going to try and look to run away. Lucian is here in the fight, but it seems inevitable as Tidal Wave is huge, hitting 3. Death Charge will land on the Wukong, and Pantheon will claim the kill. Culling going to be landing over the wall as Nautilus tanking a majority of the damage. Like I said, if you want anyone taking a bullet, it's him, because he can take many and still outlive. Ari will catch out a Teemo Shroom on her arrival of the teleporters. Lucian looking to do as much damage as possible, as Annie going to be going in with the rocket belt, with the tibbers, not going to be able to land the stun, but now Pantheon looks to claim a kill. Consolation prize, it will not happen as Lucian claims a triple kill on that. 10 and 2, and this ADC is looking more and more like an Avengers level threat. Just the pickup of the BF sword. Now imagine if he had an Infinity Edge, his damage would be even more out of hand, as there is nowhere to go but up for this Lucian. Ari will hit the charm on the Teemo, but respecting the distance. Nash's Tooth and Leandri's in the hand of Teemo. He's got the mask and the knife. Now, will he be able to stab it properly? Wukong now looking to take down at this Teemo. The blind will come through, blocking those auto attacks. Teemo will flash over the wall, but the Ari using the Spirit Rush will land it in, will land the kill. And Teemo sent back to the fountain. As now we see Wukong catching a little bit of a stray of the Teemo Shroom there, dealing a decent chunk of damage. As not a lot of magic resist, but he does have the Hex Drinker building into the Maw of Malmortius, which doesn't feel amazing. You know, there's not a lot of MR options for bruisers, Maw of Malmortius and Wit's End being essentially the only ones, and they don't really provide too many defensive stats outside of the magic resist. But Lucian with the Infinity Edge buy straight away and picking up a last Whisper in hand. The amount of gold he probably has in his pocket, undeniably, it's a lot. Culling will come through, land on Taliyah as the engage comes in on top side. Nautilus now going to be landing the depth onto the Wukong, going to be flashing away. The Tidal Wave will come through, will land onto the Taliyah, but there is no follow-up to be able to catch her out. Pantheon now in the midst of the fight as Taliyah looks over the wall to try and land a stun. Nautilus will land the hook. Will it lead to anything, as it is just a clone? Sivir now joins the fight, obviously taking a decent chunk of damage early on, as Teemo will be hit by the Annie stun, will be nuked by the Lucian, as Ari now going to be called out by the Nautilus hook. Will use the Zhonya's to be able to escape that, as Pantheon comes into the mid to the backline, will get caught up by the Nami bubble, will not be able to get any kind of consolation kill, as he will fall to the Lucian, as the Rocket Belt will catch up to Nautilus, as it looks to be essentially another ace, as Taliyah and Sivir leave with just their lives in hand, as Baron will be spawning in 30 seconds, and this is looking over, ladies and gentlemen. It is a 7k gold lead. 17 kills, a soul in hand, and a Baron on the way. The advantage of this is they have to reset after they complete the Drake, so obviously they are delayed in this Baron taking, but it will only be by a couple of seconds. Ari, though, going to be tanking a couple of shrooms there as the Leandry is really getting its value. They're going to opt to not potentially take the Baron immediately, looking to try and maybe start a fight beforehand. Meanwhile, the blue team, they need to try and find a silver lining here. Wukong looking over the wall. The Nautilus will go wide, but the Nami bubble will land. The tidal wave comes through. The ocean split, but Pantheon decides. Atreus is born onto the Nami, but he will fall to the Lucian as Wukong, the Cyclone hits onto 2. Talia will fall as well. The Cunning lands straight into the face of Nautilus as Lucian picks up a triple. Teemo now in the bot side, looking to try and claim whatever he can on this bot tier 2. As Annie is fishing for Sivir. The Hextech Rocket Boat will land. The Tibbers will miss. And Annie potentially might lose her life to the Sivir. A consolation kill, but will Tibbers be able to finish it off? It will. The Ignite coming through. The burn damage being too great. Tibbers getting a little bit of revenge there as this Baron falls in a matter of seconds. And that was the exact fight they were looking for, Red Team. All they wanted was a couple of kills. They took away 4. They wiped away the team as Teemo now having to reset. Looking on the defensive side. 9-0 is this Ari, 15-2 is the Lucian as he picks up the empowered boots and building straight into that Lord Dominic's regards. This Nautilus might not be too much tanky anymore, as the armor penetration from that going to prove very deadly indeed. Will this be the item pickup? It will. Lord Dominic's is in the hands of Lucian. And at this point, all you can really say is it's a matter of time as Pantheon going to smite, not aware of the Wukong being here. Wukong just going to be looking to smite away, not even needing to. Will hit the Q, will land it as the culling comes through, and the amount of damage that Lucian's able to deal as Nautilus looking to land the hook. The tidal wave will come through as Pantheon, the Grand Starfall will land, stunning onto the Lucian. They're just looking to try and pick up something here. Pantheon will fall as well. The hook will land onto the Wukong, who is cycloning, knocking up the Nautilus. Another triple kill for this Lucian as, dare I say, it's not looking pretty, it's not looking good, let alone winnable, as the mushrooms will be cleared away. There is very, very little this blue side has left. A Teemo and a Sivir versus 5. Stacking in the base, Baron buff empowered, Ocean Soul having... They will claim the first mid turret and the inhibitor. As Teemo trying to get some sort of foothold in with the mushrooms as Ari looking forward with the Spirit Rush will claim the kill onto the Teemo as On the Hunt will come through. The speed boost is active. Looking for some kind of consolation, but Tibbers will land on 2. Pantheon and Nautilus stun. Nautilus looking like he's going to fall down to the Annie. Will they be able to get the consolation kill onto the Lucian as Annie picks up 2 here? Sivir now pushing forward with that ricochet. Will be murdered by the Annie as Lucian claims the 4th, and this is GG.